Yeah, we're excited to get back to work against a tough game for us. We know we played against a good team and a tough place to play. Um, so yeah, if we understood that when the year started, we're going to lose a few games. They're going to come in different ways. We lose a game at home against Houston in a weird fashion, and now we lose a game against a really good team. And I remind the guys after the game, guys, it's a team that won the Supporter Shield last year. 13 2-2 at home. They lost 5 games all year at home. Um, they added some nice pieces in the offseason. So the shame what we all felt is that when you do play good teams and you have to you can't let much slip, that we weren't quite at our best, and there's little reasons for that. But yeah, so we and I also remind the guys that on a night that maybe, let's say, it wasn't all of our best night, we still had a good response at halftime. For the most part, we get back into the game, and you're a play away from taking a draw on the night. So it's some points left out there that we'll go after it and get ready for New York City.
Chris, how much emotional significance does Sunday have for you and Amir, going back home, Citi Field, playing a team that you had a rivalry with at a previous job?
To be honest, I'm most excited that we have another game. In many ways, when I go back home, it's tougher. You get pulled in a lot of different ways, and it's not simpler. I like simplicity, so I'm sure there'll be a moment when you're standing there and you have lots of people in the crowd that are there for you, and you're in New York City type of thing that makes my family proud, But it's the last thing on my mind, honestly. We got a lot to work on, and I'm looking forward that we have another game, an important one.
Did you coach a game ever that was at Citi that wasn't at Yankees? How much of considering the difference of the field and turf over an infield, is going to be into consideration in preparing the team?
No, I've not. I mean, it's always been at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, so I would think, we've gotten the dimensions. It's very similar to what they do at Yankee Stadium, and it makes for an interesting game. Things are coming quicker, and having coached in those games, I know what those games can look like, so it'll help prepare a bit. They've been really good lately, especially at home. So yeah, we'll have another game that's added to, just call it number 11 on the year. That's just a tough game against a good team.
A couple weeks ago, we saw a big tactical shift to close out Dallas. This week it kind of kept it to what we've seen a lot of with the 4-3-3, even with a big line change. Any reason you didn't kind of go more defensive towards the end of that game, or maybe slow down Lucho or anything like that? Any experimentation with the lineup?
Listen, we're coming off a bunch of good results, and in lots of ways, Kevin Cabral, Calvin Harris coming off some of their best performances. So we're not at a point to start tinkering in moments like that. We say, let's ride the momentum, ride the confidence of some guys. And again, I'll tell you, it's on paper you can prepare for a team. The player quality that Cincinnati has, some continuity in big spots. They've added, again, if you went through it, Miles Robinson, one of the best center backs in our country. They have the league MVP. They added Corey Baird, who we know is a really good attacking piece. Orellano, the left wing back, is a top player. DeAndre Yedlin. You can go there. So that's a really good team. And again, a team that 34 games lost 5 games all year. So you're trying to plug up one hole, there's another hole. This is what they can do to you. So we had lots of ideas and ways. Okay, how can we take care of Acosta on the day? It's easier said than done. You take away these spaces, he goes to the other spaces. Like Messi, how do you stop a Messi? In our league, you can see that Luciano has a very he understands time and space among the best. So it was a tough task. We gave up too many shots on the day. Most were outside the box, to be fair, but still, It's not an easy task, and I commend the guys that they stuck in it. They had a response at halftime, and they got themselves back in the game.
Looking forward to next week. Ronan and Lewis. How are they coming along?
Yeah, pretty good. You know, it's the first day we have them in on some possession games as neutrals on the outside, touching the ball, getting and feeling more part of things. So they're both at a pretty good place right now, doing a lot of non-contact stuff. But once you see guys floating as neutrals and out here, you know they're getting close. So we certainly miss those guys, and I'd be happy to get them back soon enough.
You had another huge game from Moise. I'm sure that Master of the Basics is probably, we could ask about him every game, but you know, what do you like from him in that performance, and just sort of the defense as a whole?
Listen, Moise is off to a good start in 2024, probably where he left off, but we're trying to push him in every way, from communication to reading the game to tactically going from a little more man-oriented to ball-oriented and zonal, but he's putting out a lot of fires. He's doing great. It's still very early, and you know, there's room for him. There's room for him to keep getting better, and the ceiling is high. We know that. On the day, it's listen. I don't think it's a day to go around the horn and applaud all the performances on our team. I don't think anyone would feel comfortable with that. I don't think the players would, nor would I as the head coach. So we know that it was a tough game. If we have to wait till an MLS Cup or something to ever meet that team again, we would love to, you know, not say too much more than, hey, we'd love another crack at a good team like that. Maybe next time in our building.
Chris, Ethan Bandry signed a first-team deal. What have you seen from him in his early time around the club?
For you know, in goalkeeper years, he's a fairly young goalkeeper, but he shows up every day and trains and is like an experienced vet. He's such a pro. He's such a good human being. Fits into the culture here, and in training he meets the demands in possession, out of possession. Good shot stopper, gets along with Adam and Zach really well. Just, you know, that complements, supplements. He's such a good piece for us. So, you know, to see him get that opportunity that we all trust shows a lot of trust in him. Hey, you know, it's always a play away that, hey, Ethan, you're going out there, and if he's out there, you say, all right, go ahead, man. Go do what you do every single day out here. We trust you. So he's a top pro. He deserved every bit of it. And he's a big part of the culture shift around here, people like that.
I've noticed you had sort of a would call line change, like in hockey, across the top. Is that just to have a full fresh press, fresh legs across the top? You've seen it a couple times now, and just sort of, you know, what's the mindset going into those big changes like that?
Yeah, the thinking is, and listen, we were trying to make the sub. We just needed the ball to go out because we right before that second goal, we have some guys to go in, and it was going to be on a really hot, well, more so humid night. You know, we're used to altitude, not humidity. And again, I don't tell the guys that before the game. Guys, it's 80% humidity, but you can see that it had an effect. It did. It had an effect on our pressing, on our repeat sprinting, and that's real. And then all of a sudden, where are these unforced turnovers coming from? Your brain melts a little bit. I've been there. So come 60, 65 minutes, you haven't really got the attack going. You haven't got the press going. We're getting stretched a little bit. Okay, you know, you can call it. Can you call a timeout and say, "Hey guys, listen, no, you have halftime to do that," and then the next one is like, let's send the information with these guys and go and spark the game. And for me, I'm not a coach that waits to 80 minutes, 90 minutes, you know, for a few minutes. I'm aggressive that way. I think for the way we want to play, the demands physically, fresh legs oftentimes is something good. You got hungry guys there. Omir, you know, we have discussions every week. Should it be this one? It's close. So what should mean that if it's close, that one guy should get 80 and one to 10? So we try to get guys out there, and it always has to make sense. It's never, for me, not to do it just to do it. I don't think I've taken guys off. Oh, wow, he's playing amazing. Get him off the field. No, it's trying to. Look, I'm not saying I get it all right. However, as a coaching staff, we look at the game, feel what's going on, we know what we're looking for, and then we just act with logic. So yeah,